How are you? You're supposed to answer. Oh, you're going good. Awesome. Nice to hear. Hey, it's Synth Geekery episode 238. Can you believe that? Yep. You got some catching up to do if you haven't seen any other of the episodes, because there's 237 more that you need to go and watch. And what do we do here? Well, we do stuff about synthesizers, streaming, music tech, sequences, eurorack, modular synths, DIY. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And it's pretty cool. So hopefully you can stick around and do jump into the live chat and say g'day to everyone, because they're from all over the world, and you probably would have worked out that I'm from Australia. In fact, I'm actually from Perth, which is one of the most remote cities in the world. So g'day. Anyway, nice to have you all. A bit of a different intro today. I thought I would try and change it up. Oh, there's a few people missing in the squares. How's everyone going? I'll see if I can sort the squares out while we're talking. Hello?
Hello.
So do we know if Darren was coming or not?
Not heard.
He didn't say he wasn't coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll wait for him to turn up. And for those who are wondering why it's the Zoom link pinned at the top of the chat, and that is this link here. Actually, I don't even know if this works. Does it change it? There you go. It worked.
Hey.
That link there is what we're talking about. That is so you guys can treat the show like a talkback call. Yep, that's it. You can jump on to Zoom. It's free, and you can have your camera turned off if you're still in your PJs, or if you're running around in your undies, like we say in Australia.
Yeah. I'm naked from the bottom down.
Yeah, jump on and join us, because that's kind of a cool thing to do, I think. You don't have to hang around for the whole show. You can jump in, jump out whenever you feel the need to contribute anyway. Okay, quickly say good day.
This is all I have on right now. So
Yeah. Like the newsreaders, mate. Let's jump down to all of our video guests, starting with Andy. You were the first button. How are you, mate? How's your week been?
hey, everybody. It's all right. Just usual, getting over this. Anthrax is being lingering for too long. It's phlegmy and lovely and all that kind of stuff. But it's all right. I'm getting a lot of sleep just to make sure it goes away quicker. But
Is it like week 3 for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's not like I don't think it's bronchitis. It's just a real lingering kind of phlegmy thing. So I'm sleeping fine. I'm getting through the day fine. I just, getting through this. It's a really persistent flu. So I haven't been sick for a long time. I guess I'm due something. So big deal. I'll get over it. But yeah, not much else going on really. I did last week. I did a live stream last night just for fun, just to continue finding why my had some ground noise or some kind of hummy issues on my thing. I also found out I needed to use deoxit on a bunch of my jacks on my Mackie mixer, because plugged in my D50 and no sound, but sound out of the headphone jack. So I'm like, well, okay, that's weird. It's definitely the mixer. So a little bit of deoxit on some plugs, and it was right as rain. And so I got that to work. Yeah. And I was just doing some sound demos last night of D50 and Polyvolver, a little bit of SX240, a little bit of TS10. Just some people did eventually show up, and we had some camera guests and chatted about stuff. But most of it was just me playing stupid sounds and chat, some chat here and there. But it was fun. So that's about all I did this week as far as music stuff. There's another hardware jams coming up, which is a good one, so I'm going to work on that at some point. But yeah, not too much else going on. Pretty quiet. I can't do any astronomy stuff. It's too damn cloudy, so no astronomy shows or microscope shows lately, but one of these days.
Fabulous. Oh, it's nice to have you again. All right, over to Ian, who's in his last days in that dwelling.
Last days. Yeah. Hello, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. What's my week been like? Really stupidly busy, actually. I I've started work on a dance project. About every 18 months, I work with a lady who runs a dance school, and then she puts on a show, and I do the music for it. I'm not creating music. I'm usually collating music and doing re-edits and stuff like that. Well, the show's not till June, but I did message her and say, look, I'm moving shortly. She went, oh, I'll come see you now. So we started this week. So I spent 2 days doing that. And then the rest of the week, I've been boxing stuff up. So we sort of will be out of here probably the first week of next month. We're still trying to finalise the actual dates and the removal firm. But so I'm living in a box hellhole really at the moment. You know, this is the best room in the house because there aren't any boxes. But so not an awful lot of music stuff. But the project, I mean, the dance projects is always a fun thing to do whenever I do it for us. So I'm quite cool, you know. I mean, I did think we'd probably have to do it via Zoom after we've moved, but it'd be nice if I can get it out of the way before we leave, you know, and get it all done. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my week. Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, who else we got here? We've got Chris.
Hey, hello everyone. Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
Oh, hit us.
Good news. Only
hit us
good
with
news.
Good news. Of course you said the good news. That's what I wanted to start with anyway. The good news is I've restocked the Etsy store. And you can now buy GP82 built on my Etsy store now, which I'll just flash up the link. Look at that. At this very
Way.
address. So back in stock. If you want a GP82, if anyone wants a GP82, tell your friends. It's back in stock. You can buy it again. There's also the DIY kits are there as well. Plenty of those. So if you're DIY inclined, have a go. So it's fun. So that's good. Got that done. And what else was? Oh, I'm working on a music video for a jam I did last year that has kind of turned into a bit more than just a jam. I was having a lot of fun with it this week, layering over samples over the top, and it was starting to go somewhere quite fun. So I thought, okay, this has to be a proper video. So I'm working on that. Well, there's something I should probably show you if I change over to different camera, and you're going to see something. What is it? It's the Cable Monster. This is the what do you call it? The release candidate, like we say in software. Have I turned on too many things? Sorry, I should. There you go. The release candidate for the Cable Monster, which is our 3D printed eurorack cable making device. That's what you get. It's all
Cool.
It doesn't. It comes with. You have to provide the noises yourself, though. So that's what she looks like. I had a bit of fun with my friend and I had a bit of fun with multicolour printing. So there you go. So I'm just finishing testing that up, and if I'm happy with it, it's going to go on the store. So I guess if anyone's interested in it, perhaps I don't know, shoot me a DM, or just a couple of comments into chat would be fine actually. If anyone's interested, get some idea as to who wants one. Does anyone on the stream in the little windows want one? No, Ian, I know you
Not for me,
because you don't have any modular.
No, it won't be for me. But actually, I think it's a cool thing.
No, cheers, man. Go back to me because that's a bit rude just to be showing that, isn't it? No, God, here we go. Hello, I'm back again. Oh, and let's turn off that horrible light because it's really annoying. Okay, so that was the fun stuff. The less fun stuff is, well, you know how I got a Cobol expander?
Mm.
Yep.
Well, I discovered it has a fault or a calibration error. I don't know yet what it is. The main VCA output is projecting DC. So you're getting DC current whenever you open and close the envelopes. I've done all the usual testing and isolating of things, and I've done my firmware update, and I've done all the good stuff, and it's definitely still there. So it seems like there's some kind of DC offset miscalibration, I suspect, in the final VCA. I think it's just a small amount of DC in the... because I did a bit of research. I believe they're using a 13700 based VCA circuit, which I happen to know something about. And that one you do usually have to trim out the DC, and it seems like that wasn't done. Or
it's a DC offset trimming, right?
Yes. The question is, I hope it is a trim with a trim pot.
So is that a digital VCA or is that an analog VCA?
Good question. That I don't know. I don't know how the envelope is actually generated, but the actual VCA is definitely, the circuit of the VCA is control voltage. Analog control voltage. So if you pass in 0 volts, you've got to trim the thing so that puts out 0 volts or something.
Yeah, the only reason why I question that is because I've heard of the DC offset issue happening when you've got digital to analog, with envelopes being digital and the VCA being analog.
Right.
Because don't forget your sustain is an amplitude level, right? Technically, it's usually around something to do with the voltage levels of your plus or minus on your EG.
It could still be the EG. You're right. But I have tried. Unfortunately, the way the COBOL is designed, there's no control over the final VCA. You only have control over the 2 VCAs on each oscillator first. So I can't actually test that theory, which is really frustrating. The closest thing I can do is modulate the sustain level on the envelope generator.
I'd say it's a Behringer issue.
Yeah, it's not making any difference to the DC offset. So what it manifests as, if you want to know how I discovered this, whenever you open the gate, close it. So every time you press a key on the keyboard, it goes, and then when you close it, it goes.
Right.
It's really annoying. So you get a little pop every time you're thinking, the envelope's quite poppy. I'll just trim that out. I'll just take.
So they were saying that on some of the reviews.
Go away. Well, this is another thing I wonder. This is probably why I'm putting out an APB. Anyone who has a COBOL expander in the chat or watching the stream later, they could put a little comment on the video or in the chat that they've seen this particular problem as well, or at least heard it. It's a bit harder to hear than it is to see on a scope. The advantage of my new scope up there is I could really drill down and see exactly what was happening, which was both a blessing and a curse.
Is it actually showing a DC offset though? An actual DC offset?
Okay, so inside the VCA output stage of the COBOL, there's going to be a DC bias, DC removal cap. Like every output circuit has a DC removal cap, so that if there is any DC present in the signal, it usually gets cut out. The problem is the VCA is changing that DC offset every time it opens and closes, so it gets through the capacitor. So the capacitor doesn't stop DC offsets from happening, it just hides them while the DC is constant. So that is the why it actually manifests as a very strange thing. I know what you're saying is like, why can't I see the DC? It's because I need to scope before.
Yeah. You'd have to get into the circuit.
I have to get into the circuit to really see what it is.
I was just thinking that maybe you might see a voltage spike.
Well, there is. I mean, you see the voltage spike every time it opens. So that when it opens, you get a negative voltage spike.
Yeah.
And then
when you close, you get a positive.
0.
Yeah.
And when you close, you get a positive one. Yeah, which is consistent with as I understand it. So I should be really happy.
That's still pointing to an envelope. That is still pointing to an envelope to me because I think it's possible. It's voltage low, voltage higher, right?
The thing is, the envelope does have an output as well, and I've tested the envelope output, and it's fine. There's no DC offset in the envelope itself. At least what's coming out of the jack.
Yeah, so the bypass of it.
ADS
Yeah,
one.
okay. Okay, interesting.
So it's as I said, I've had a good look around, and still frustrated with what it is. But
What if you?
I wonder if it is an issue.
What if you
or
route
whether-
everything? Like I know there's a certain limit to patching on that thing, but what if you try and route everything? Like, can you route your VCOs out, and then your envelopes out, and your filter out, and then use something
So-
else to combine them all?
Yeah.
And see what happens then.
So you can get access to the individual oscillator outputs, but you can't get access to the individual filter output.
Right.
So you can't hear it through the filters. Or, well, the other thing you can do is bypass everything to do with the gate, which means you're obviously holding the gate open the whole time and then using like the rest of my modular to actually do all of the amplitude modulation and enveloping.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you also can't use the envelopes anymore.
Yeah.
So that's two envelopes you lose. It's getting
still
getting
pointing.
silly.
It's still pointing to your EG on your VCA. That's what it's pointing out to me.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable hypothesis.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
It's
Sorry, I should.
I don't know
Bring
what
us
it
all
is, but
into
yeah,
this.
it's just I'm not having a good run with Behringer products lately. I
Yeah.
had to send back my
With
both
both of
Pro
us.
800 because of an issue. Yeah.
Yep.
And you had yours, but yours was magically fixed by it just
By a
sort of
firmware
happened.
update,
Yeah, which is
like someone
possibly-
snuck it in without mentioning anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good
why I
luck with
wondered
Behringer
if
as
anyone
well,
else
but
is.
I'm not surprised to hear about some problem because a lot of people report issues like the mini Moog tuning and all that stuff. So
Actually, speaking.
I had all that.
Speaking of the COBOL expander, you guys need to stay tuned to the rest of the show. There's some stuff I'm going to be talking about the COBOL expander a bit later on. So, well, we need to keep moving. And what I've done, guys, is I've put, because I can't see Darren. No, he's not here.
He's in the chat.
he said in the chat he's
So
coming.
he's on his
He's on
way.
his way.
Okay. Just let us know, Darren, when you actually do arrive, because I've got you blanked out at the moment. And down the bottom right-hand side is ready for anyone who wants to join Zoom. So don't be scared. There's the Zoom button there. It's just pinned. So just click on the link and join when you are, and you'll arrive down in the bottom right-hand corner. I've got space for 100 callers if you want. I think we had 8 at one stage. That's our
Party
record. Yeah. All right, let's go. First, we'll say hello to the chatties, which I mentioned quickly earlier. Let's do a real quick scroll through. Big Wagoo and Kent Spong's there, and Failed Muso, which is Robbie. Nice to have you guys. Future World Machines. Andy Synchrotron's there. Kissing the Machine. Steven's there. Daniela's there. Daniela, I'll have a quick look at that thing. I don't know if I've got time to shot on the show, but we'll try. James is there. Big hello to you, mate. QRD and K. Radar Caves. Kosh Takai. New Precision. Madcat Modular. Big hello to you. Who else? JP Page 2. James Glue. Half God, Half Beast. Matt Brown. Simon Great Batch. And scrolling. Here I am scrolling. Kev Human. How are you, mate? Azio Head. Yay. And who else? There's some Russian words in there. I don't know how to pronounce it. Someone who can speak.
Steve Exob.
The Breathalyzer is there. Big Sean. How you going, mate?
It's good to see some new names.
There
I
are
saw
some
them
new names,
over the
yeah.
last couple of weeks. It's good to see some people. on.
Babs is there. Exorb's there. Big hello to all of you guys. And yeah, it's a nice, decent amount of people today, which is really, really good. I hope I don't let anyone down. Anyway, that is it for now. I probably missed a few people out, but that's bad luck because I've got to get on with the show. All right, here we go. Stranger things do happen in Funnyside, and these memes are one of them. The secret of the perfect snare. It's impossible. Just sample Phil Collins.
Love film.
Yeah.
Right, Robbie, where are you? I know you're behind this meme.
In the interest of balance,
He's going to deny it, but I know he's behind it.
He is behind it. I'm with him.
We're ready to fight.
Far too much time on their hands.
It's actually pretty good.
Because they have too much time on their hands because they don't have a modular.
Yeah.
It's like a poster you'd see down in the hall of the local community centre or something, isn't it?
Have you seen this man? Yes.
Stop
Please
doing
report
modular.
this man for psychotherapy.
All right. That one's pretty good. I definitely enjoyed that during the week.
Yeah, it's cool.
Multipass.
Multipass. One of my favourite all-time films.
That's great.
It's a superb film. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yep. Subtractive?
Well, people die, so yeah.
This one got a bit of a laugh during the week. Now, there's a theory going around, and it just makes me laugh when I see this, that surface mount electronics is not as good as through hole. Because you need to put the big components in for it to sound better.
It's better.
Because they can handle bigger voltages, right?
Yeah, it's fatter sound if you've got a fatter
sound. They don't actually have any idea about how electronic works. Oh my gosh, it's funny though.
Yes.
Mm.
It's 1K, isn't it, that one?
Yes.
I was going to say I can never remember what the color codes are.
Oh, there's some really
I used to know it.
unrepeatable versions of it. I don't remember it.
Yeah. It doesn't help when you're colourblind reading resistor bands.
No.
Anyway, Cat Stevens in therapy. Doc, I'm being followed by a moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow.
I do love it.
That's excellent.
Where are we up to? Are we up to the end? No, we got one more. The oldest flute found is 60,000 years old, whilst the earliest evidence of humans wearing pants goes back 20,000 years ago. That means there was like 40,000 year period where people played the flute with no pants. Statistics, my friends, is your friend.
That's right.
Yes.
Take that to a dinner party.
And I mean, you know,
Conversation starter. Right?
Andy's sitting here with no pants on. He admitted it earlier. So
Hey, I'm not going to tilt down, so
Oh, well, that
this is not OnlyFans. You have to pay for that. That's OnlyFans.
I was surprised that no one said any American Pie jokes about the flute.
Oh, yes, the flute. Yes, there was this one time in Bandcamp.
Yes. Anyway, favorite meme of the week, people, please, in chat as well. Let us know. Because we do go back.
Chat resistor.
If you don't believe
Big
me,
resistor was
we
fun.
do go back and we do a meme of the year. The big resistor.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Big
maybe
resistor.
it's Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens was
for
good.
me.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
that really made me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go.
Involuntarily.
I have to say the modular one was the best for me because it everyone thought I'd get butthurt about it, but no, because I've got a very good sense of humour. I liked it.
It required commitment to read all of it too. So if
It
you're
did, but it was actually clever.
it meant that it was it was probably quite clever. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think Cat Stevens and the Resistor are kind of fighting at the moment. Oh, Jim likes the snare.
The resistor is. Thanks, Azure Head. The resistor is futile. Brilliant.
That big it is futile. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call it. What should we call it? We'll call it Cat Stevens
Yeah.
because that was pretty good. It reminds me of like Saturday mornings with the old man putting the vinyl on, putting Cat Stevens on. That's going back a bit.
Yeah.
What are we going to do now? I think we're going to do this. The first cab off the rank is the Oddment Audio. Now, I'm not even going to pronounce it. I'm just going to spell the letters and you guys can work out how you pronounce it. It's Groce.
Groce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gross.
Why would you name your product that sounds like that?
Yeah, unpronounceable. Yeah.
So
Groce, right?
Groce, even Groce is not good.
Yeah.
I just think you could have found a different name. Anyway, we'll go with it. Grok, maybe.
Yeah. It's probably
not
not
sure.
Family name you've just insulted.
Yeah. Okay, so what is this thing? This is another granular synth. It is a digital thing. It has an ARM Cortex A72 for those playing along at home. I'd like to know what's inside the thing. And it has a touchscreen as well. But it also has a video, and you guys like your videos, so I just thought I'll share it quickly with you. Oh, we'll let the video play, shall we? Sounds like the old fire alarms in the country in the 80s.
You need some effects.
The old air raid
I mean, it
sirens.
sounds like granular. It's very
It
granular.
does sound granular, but it needs more.
Yeah.
Is this groundbreaking? Is this anything new, guys?
No.
Let us know in chat. What do you guys think? Is this something new? Are you guys seeing something different here? Sorry, guys. I'm just going to have
More than just beautiful dance.
What
You get
the
so
hell?
spoiled on the iPad with granular apps. It's
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to this. What do we think? Thoughts? I don't have a price.
How much?
I don't have a price.
You haven't got a price. Oh,
No.
right.
Doesn't that suck?
I mean, I love granular synths, but go on, Chris.
No, I was just going to say I'm probably going in soft. I was going to say it reminds me a lot of the Texture Lab that I've got sitting up there. Little white beast, the Texture Lab.
Yeah.
Very similar sounds I was getting out of that to what I was getting out here, at least at the start, which makes me wonder, is this the best demo, or is this just someone discovering it? It almost sounds like someone discovering granular synthesis for the first time.
It's interesting that you
rather than
asked that,
demoing
Chris.
the product.
I'm going to put you up in the top right-hand corner, and then I'm going to show you why I think it's interesting that you asked that. Because on their website, I'll just take you off for a second so you can read what it says. Not like the others. That's their marketing ploy, right? But was that video demonstrating how that granular synth was not like the
not a
others?
bit. No.
Absolutely
The
not.
two departments are talking to each other.
No.
Yeah, no, that is a bit odd to have those two different things at odds with each other. Yeah, that's weird. So is it marketing?
This is what they say, right, Chris?
Weird.
They say achieve one-of-a-kind manipulations of playback speed, shape multiple envelopes, edit audio samples, crop and loop points. How's that one of a kind? You can do that with most granular synths. Okay, 4 LFOs. Well, that's just digital. You can throw as many as you like that the computer can handle. 3 macros that you can morph between patches. Well, that's in the Argyle. What's it called? The Modal Argon 8, whatever it is. Anyway,
Argon
that
8.
one. I'm okay. I'm being cynical, right? I'm being cynical, but if you're going to make claims about something being unique and it's groundbreaking and it's not like others and it's got all these cool features, let's see it. Let's see what the difference is. So and don't take me as, I'm not bashing you, right? I'm not saying this is it's a crap product. What I'm saying is, if you're going to release a marketing video about your thing, it's got to back up what you're claiming. It's got to show what you're trying to say. If you want people to buy your
big
product,
language, you have to have a big demo. So
yeah.
And yes, basically, if you're saying something sounds amazing, you've got to play it sounding amazing.
Definitely.
It's pretty basic.
I agree.
You know,
It was, yeah. Well, like I say, the first thing I said,
you can't just do the press up front and say, we'll eventually have a video that eventually shows you how great it is. But at the moment, we'll tell you because that's just as good. It isn't.
Yeah. Has it got any built-in effects?
Yeah, it does. It says it has built-in effects. It's got binaural rendering, neural signal processing, resonant filters, harmonizer, tape echo, shimmer, reverb, and they say the list goes on. Well, okay,
Wow.
what else?
I mean,
Is it finished yet? No.
They didn't really show that, did they?
Yeah.
They didn't show any of that stuff, really. It was pretty bland, really.
Yeah.
But even the interface is limited because he's got a keyboard hooked to it and some knobs and a little screen. You fire up Borderlands on iPad and you have as many fingers as you have on screen, playing completely different grains and moving them around, and you can't compete with that.
No.
I wonder.
This is going to probably cost, I wouldn't be surprised if this costs more than an Argon 8, right? I wouldn't be surprised. And they are really good value for money. It probably does better things than the Argon 8 does. I'm not arguing about that. But what I'm saying is you guys are picking up on all the little things that I saw when I saw this product release. You're picking it up straight away within the first few seconds. That means the rest of the world is picking up on this stuff. So be careful when you launch a product. Make sure you get all your ducks in a row. This is what we say in Australia. In Australia, we had these houses in the 80s and they had 3 ducks on the wall.
And they went
Make sure you get your ducks in a row.
Straight. It always frustrates me the way they never put them straight.
No one ever put them straight.
Mine aren't straight.
All right. But I really, really want Oddment Audio to succeed. I want anyone who launches a product in this world to succeed. So take the criticism that we're giving you and as constructive.
It's got a lot of potential.
Come back to us and let us know. Come
my
back strong.
and
Come back pissed off. I don't care. Come back whatever with why we should buy your product.
Yeah, do a tear down video on Ranzee's channel.
They've done a teardown on here on their website. It's not an actual video teardown, but down here somewhere there is. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah,
looks a bit like my Slim Fatty at the moment.
Oh dear, yes.
All right. We should move on. But I would like to put a pin in that and revisit that if they do come and bring something else out a little bit later, revisit it, find out how it's evolved, all that sort of stuff. Okay, next cab off the rank is the Moog. We all talked about it during the week.
Oh yes.
It was leaked by Jexus actually first on his YouTube channel and on some of the forums where he was saying, hey, I'm watching Super Bowl and there's a new Moog being played on the stage. What the hell? So he did. He picked it. He picked it. Well, a few days later, Andrew came out and said, well, there is one, guys. I can tell you a little bit about it. It's going to be called the Moog Mirror, and it's based on the Matriarch, but this one has 8 voices. It has presets and it has effects, and that's as far as I can go with what I can tell you guys. But there's been a lot of rumors floating around, right? Social media, Facebook, Instagram, people talking on Twitter about it. Let's dig into it. Like you guys have been watching the other shows during the week. What's there to like about this new Moog? It's definitely an in-music / Akai influence product, from what I've been told. So, where's that take us?
It's quite colorful.
Yes, I like the what do they call them? Jube knobs or something. They look good enough to eat. Tasty.
Jube knobs?
Treats.
I haven't had jubes for a long time, actually. Yeah.
Jujubes.
What's a tube?
It looks kind of tasty, but I don't think it's going to be that cheap.
No.
But yeah, it's nice to see some.
It's got to be cheaper than a Moog 1, right? So what's a Moog 1 worth? I reckon we could work out the price of this. So a Moog 1, let's go to Sweetwater because I think they're still selling them. We'll do US prices because I think we can. You ever tried to go to Sweetwater's website and you can't type in, you have to type in www, You can't actually get to it if you just type in Sweetwater.
Yeah, you just type in the domain and don't have to. Oh,
Yeah.
it's annoying. I had to say, I don't know. I may have that problem on my website, or I don't have that problem on my website because that was one of the things.
All right, so $10,000 is a 16 voice. I don't know if they did sell the 8 voice version of the Moog 1, and I think it was about 7 or 8,000. I can't remember. You guys will be able to tell me more, right? So, and how much is a Moog Matriarch, right? A Moog Matriarch, if they still sell them. So a Moog Matriarch is $18.99. This is US dollars. Okay, so it's going to be somewhere between 2,000 and 7,000. My guess is around the $4,000 mark. That's my guess, but I could be wrong. What do you guys think?
I think you're on the money. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're on the money.
I think.
Probably, yeah.
What if Akai come in and go, guys, enough of this, like, you know, we don't need to sell products for some ungodly amount anymore because, you know, you've got new owners. We've got a bit of a purse that we can dip into.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Are we going to see one of the first sort of, you know, differences from Moog with this product, being that the price might be different to what we expect?
Like Stephen
maybe
Smith
they've
in the
worked
chat
really
said 3,799.
Oh, very good.
Dip it under the 4K. Could be.
While you're on your vMix controls there, Rance, I think Darren's waiting to get in.
Oh no, Darren's already in.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
be quiet then. Hi, Darren.
Look at that. There he is.
Yay.
Good day, all. Oh dear. Good day,
Gentleman's hours for Darren.
Hiya.
I was rushing. I just flew back. I've just been to B&Q actually to sum up for the live rig, and then realised that I wasn't going to make it actually on time.
It's all good, mate. We'd love to have you. We'll come and grab you in a minute and talk about your week in a sec. But we are hot on this, Darren, and you can jump in if you like. I know you're not a massive synth buyer at the moment, but there is a bit of gas in you. I know. Are you a Moog fan? Like, do you like the Moog's stuff?
Well, I've got a DFAM, so and I always wanted a Minotaur. I presume this one was already done and dusted before they got bought out anyway. Hence the price and the look. So it's what comes after this, I suppose.
Where's it been built?
Yeah, exactly.
Are they still going to be? Because didn't they lay off a whole bunch of people at North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Ashfield, isn't it?
They did.
Ashfield.
Ashfield, North Carolina.
Asheville.
Asheville, that's right. Ashfield.
Asheville, sorry, yes, yeah. No, they did lay a lot of people off as well.
So who they laid off is the question, right?
Maybe they've been waiting for them to come across on the ships, with the ships having to take a derivative tour at the moment.
Maybe.
So we know where they built then.
Well, there was that one ship that lost all of its cargo. Did you see that? There was like this viral video going around where there were people like cutting into the sides of these shipping containers and getting like Apple iPads and stuff out, and
oh no,
there was one with cars in it, and it was pretty cool. It's like winning lotto.
Until you realise they were coming to your until you realise they were coming to your country, and it was something you were waiting for.
Yeah. Are we sure?
Like, oh crap!
Are we sure about the name Moog Mirror? Moog.
Andrew said it was going to be called that. So Andrew Hung.
I think he's got
kind of a dopey name. But...
Yeah.
Hwang.
Yeah, it's not a good marketing name, really.
I have to admit, I don't actually watch his channel. Sorry, Andrew.
No.
There's only so many YouTubers in the world that I can watch, but I did mention him a while back. I did actually give him some kudos for a good looking modular setup that he had with all the white
I remember
cabinetry.
I remember that.
But I don't actually.
He's aimed at a much younger demographic.
Yeah, I don't really watch his channel.
Not everyone can stand it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I do get a little bit jealous about how well he does and how he's getting all the gear, and it kind of annoys me a bit because
Well, have you seen his white modular wall?
it doesn't
That's
make sense to me.
Like 150K of modular.
Yeah. Anyway, he's probably got a bit more of an extroverted personality than I have, so that's probably where it gets him. Right, we are going to keep going because we've got real products to show, not just theories and ideology. What about this Pittsburgh Modular local parks? This one I thought was interesting. It's an analog oscillator with harmonics. So this, I keep saying this every week, and I'm going to keep saying it. So if you don't like it, bad luck. Eurorack and modular synths are where innovation is bringing us the new stuff that we're finding in the bigger synthesizers later on. It's happening at the Eurorack level first. We're the crash test dummies. We're the guinea pigs. And guys like Pittsburgh Modular are innovators. They're the innovators. They're bringing out, I think they brought out a product last year or the year before called the Symbol module, which was doing the binary logic waveform, which I thought was really, really cool. So here's another one where they're just mucking around with different types of waveforms. Now, some of this stuff, in my opinion, is not new, but just to the younger audience, they may not remember some of these products that are around. So he does talk about the different types of waveforms that you can get in this, and why it's important to get some sort of harmonic manipulation with the waveforms, because it then bites into the filter and you get kind of different sounds. And we talked about that with the Casios and stuff of the past. So it's good to do that. But this is all analog, and there's things like half sine waves, which is, in technical terms, it's actually a half rectified wave. And the whole point of that is that it actually provides harmonic content. So when you use it with a filter, it gives you kind of some more information for the filter to grab onto, at different sort of frequencies, right? And there's a pulse wave that can be manipulated, and this one I thought sounded like a Poly 800 waveform. Okay, so listen to this. The pulse waves can be manipulated into multiple dimensions using a pulse shift with adjustable steps within the pulse, which gives you more harmonic content. That sounds like a Poly 800 waveform. So when you look at the Poly 800 waveform, it's a square wave that you can increase and decrease the amplitude of different harmonics on that square wave to give you a sawtooth, for example. And they have a really distinct sound too. And then there's another one called a saw wave, which is morphed. Sorry, it's not called a saw wave. It's a saw wave, which is morphed, and they're calling it a blade wave, which is pitched across 1 octave above the actual core frequency. So you're getting this pitch across, and then what happens is it changes shape and returns back to the core frequency again, which you can do on a Cobol.
That's right.
So this stuff is not new, but some of it is, and some of it's not. But it's good to have it all in one module. Now, the cool thing about this module too is that it enables you to... they've got this binary logic one in there as well. Of course, they chuck that in. But it also has built-in modulation, so you don't have to get an LFO module separately to modulate this. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and there's a video. Cool. So let's check out the vid. We're not going to watch 41 minutes. Have a look at the waveforms on the oscilloscope. This is what you're looking at, because they're kind of weird looking.
Hi everybody, how we doing? All right, today is a day. Let me now they're available to everybody, and I want to walk through it and answer some questions. And it uses the same filter, or the same oscillator core that we've used now for many years, and pretty much every oscillator we've done. It's in Taiga, the double helix.
Okay, here's the sine.
So this is our sine wave.
I'm going to skip through a bit so that you can see it.
You know what? Let me let me open up the filter so that we know exactly what we're listening to. There we go. This is our sine wave. It sounds really nice.
Come on, come on, come on.
This is the same sine wave that we used in the Captain. You can see on this one, we've simply just sort of chopped it off. It's called a half rectified wave, where you chop off the bottom of the waveform, square it off, and then we recenter it so that it's centered again around 0. But what this does is it gives you a little bit for the filter to grab onto. So you have some harmonics there. We'll add some resonance to the filter. You can see there's something there for it.
All right, that's the sine. Let's get the...
Now the built-in LFO is voltage controllable. It doesn't track volt per octave, but you can voltage control it, or you can there's CV inputs, you can override it.
Let's try and get that sawtooth. Here it is.
And now we get into...
With that, before he goes on, the sawtooth apparently can sound like a chorus effect. I don't know if he's doing it here. I'll just go back.
It's a saw core oscillator. It's going to have a really nice sounding saw wave. Sounds nice in a filter.
Yeah, he gets to it in a sec.
Again, we can FM. And now we get into the really interesting bits. So let's start now with the blade wave.
There we go.
Now this is a waveform that we've used in the past. And here's our double frequency saw wave. This is what you start with the blade. And then as you get the pot to about 50%, you end up with a saw. There we go. It does have a little kink in the end there. It sounds like a saw. Lots of harmonics. Sounds really nice through a filter. But then we can continue on to a square wave.
Okay, nothing new there. But this bit coming up.
So you can shape this.
Here we go.
Or really get out of control with it. But as you can tell, it always...
Anyway, I think you guys get the idea. There's a stack more in this that we should unpack. But 40 minutes worth. It goes like this is typical Pittsburgh. They go into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
but that's what you want as a sound designer. You want to know what you're getting, and that's exactly what you're getting. I kind of think it's interesting. Remember, it's an analog oscillator. Okay, it's not digital. So a lot of people can make these oscillators digitally, but to make them analog, it's kind of nice. So what did you reckon, Chris? You reckon it's kind of a bit of RSF COBOL / Poly 800?
It is very when I watched the whole video pretty much because it was just quite interesting from a scientific perspective, and also just because it was like, hey, that looks just like the COBOL waveform I was looking at. Different way of generating or different system, but I have to say the sound kind of left me cold. It's one of those things where I just went through and went, yeah, but I'm not liking it. It's just the sound of that particular oscillator. So from the perspective of it's interesting, yes, it is very interesting, but it doesn't go onto my wish list because it just doesn't sound like something I'd want in my system.
Fair enough.
So I hate to be rude, but to Pittsburgh Modular, but it's just maybe this just not the right fit for me. But because because I haven't done a lot of Pittsburgh Modular because a lot of it has been a bit over my budget. So and before I was getting into modular.
I don't think I've got any of their modules either. And nothing.
And
nothing
yeah,
against them.
I wanted to like this. It came up and I had a look and I said, "Oh, nice long video. It sounds really interesting." And then I just listened to it and went, it just doesn't. It's just not doing anything for me. It's not giving me any kind of,
I think maybe his choice of filter was probably where he let him down, because if you're trying to say, right, these waveforms have got harmonic content, right, and then you just put it through a standard low pass filter, you're kind of doomed, aren't you? You probably want to have a state variable filter at least, right?
You want to have something with character, something with a lot of character, so it can start catching all those bits and pieces. But this was sort of on the sort of more pure level.
I would probably be switching. I'd be switching between 24B, 12 dB. I'd be using like band pass, high pass, low pass, notch, comb. I would be putting it through every single filter known to mankind, basically, until something goes, "Oh, that sounds really cool."
Yeah.
And then go, right, this is where the harmonics are really grabbing it, sort of thing. And also different filters
I mean,
too,
to be
like
fair,
Steiner Parkers and
To be fair, I have plenty of famous modular oscillators that they sound boring when you don't do much with them. They're just going to sound boring. They're not that great until you start adding a bunch more stuff in the signal path.
Yeah, that's what I wondered.
So, I mean, as cool as the waveforms are, even Manny said, you don't use an oscilloscope to sound design, which is true because it might mathematically be interesting, but doesn't mean it's sonically interesting. And so, this is why in the old days when you didn't have access to an oscilloscope and or like our Sampha with FFTs and like Alchemy or something like that, you had to sit there and just listen to what you're doing and not worry about what it looks like. That goes a long way to stuff. So I don't expect any of these raw oscillator videos to be that compelling on their own. I mean, it's the building block and it's the starting point. So they can't give you an idea where you're going to go, I think. But like I said, I have tons of oscillators that as soon as you turn them on, it's like, that's it. That's kind of boring, right? You really got to start adding a bunch of crap to it to get anywhere decent.
Right, yeah.
So.
Yeah, some of them require more work to get the goodness out of them. Yeah, I get that. I do really dig the LFO built into the oscillator.
Yeah,
I want to see that happening.
The modulation sources, that's pretty cool.
I like at least a LFO in every module.
Well, I mean,
that would be awesome.
ARP did it with the
source.
2500, right? So when you think about that oscillator in the 2500, it had two modes. It was either an LFO or it was a HFO, right?
They didn't have dedicated LFOs. They just had an oscillator.
They just had oscillators,
And you just put in, if you want an LFO, you flick the switch. It says go low.
Yeah. There's more than one way to skin a cat is the saying that kind of floats through my mind when I'm looking at this module. And some people, they may gravitate towards it because they like, I don't know, maybe they like the immediacy of being able to get access to those particular waveforms. That might be what floats their boat. So it's only 339 US, so it's that was reasonable.
A definite plus one. That's why I wanted to like it more because it was more.
I'm not a massive fan of the panel design, to be fair.
No, as I said, I'd like to just get that with a spray can and fix it.
It's like the animal ones. He tries to make it interesting But Pittsburgh stuff has never been super cheap. I mean, I only have one of his modules. It's that really funky one that you actually can build drums out of any sounds. It's like a transient shaper thing. Have you seen that one, Ranzee?
Yeah, I remember it.
It's really cool, but I need to use it more because I don't quite understand it 100%. But it's literally a little drum machine thing where you just feed any sounds or waveforms into it.
Yeah. And
with the shaping tools, you're creating drums on the fly. It's really cool.
Yeah, I remember it. It was
including the rhythms themselves, or
because it's got LFOs and some other stuff in there to tweak it. I can't describe it very well because I haven't touched it for about a year, but I bought it used because it looked interesting. I need to get back into it. So.
Now, just before we move on to the next thing, X101 correctly stated that there is only 200 of these being made. So that might be, I don't know, a quirkiness to you to grab one. I don't know. I don't sort of tend to. I'm a bit of a non-conformist with stuff like that. I don't like to queue up in lines, and I don't like to rush to a shop just because they say there's only 200 of them. I might go, okay, fine, just let it go for me. I don't sort of buy into that stuff. But
rarity.
Why is there only 200 being made is the question I want to know.
Yeah.
Why would you not? Why would you not make more? Is it because you can only access a chip, the 200 of these chips or something? I don't know. There's probably a reason.
At least, yeah. At least with the Sonicware, the guy from Sonicware, he did the thing that he made himself. Yeah. At least he was upfront about why weren't many of them. He said, well, if people will make 200, and if people want more, maybe we'll look at it.
Could be that. Could be the same reason. Yeah.
But,
so in that case, there isn't only 200 being made. There's 200 being made, and if lots of people wanted them, maybe there's a window for more, right? In this case, I don't really know. He didn't say anything about that. So, anyway, look, I don't want to sort of bash people today. I'm seeing bashing people today. Right.
Argumentative.
Let's keep going because we don't have any more Eurorack. Yeah, there was only one this week. We are going to be looking at home bake instruments chaos.
Ooh.
And it's not home baked, it's just home bake instruments. Now, the reason why it's home bake instruments is I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese company, and when they translate things, the English language, how it has the S's and the D's on the end of words tends to get lost in translation, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, anyway, this thing here is a chaotic modular synthesizer with a simple 2 oscillator and filter configuration with a chaos generator that creates complex and unpredictable sounds. The chaos generator creates a chaotic signal by using one oscillator as a clock and the other as an input signal. And this signal then gets fed back into the oscillator or adapted to a filter to synthesize strange sounds that seem random and kind of musically regular, kinda. So yeah, shall we have a look at this? It kind of, I don't know if he's got some sort of arpeggiator stepping through, and that's what's generating the volts per octave sort of pitch. I'm not sure. But yeah, when I first saw the video, I thought this is kind of like what you would get out of a VCS3 if you played with one for a couple of hours.
Or a Lyra 8.
Yeah, or a Lyra 8. And this thing's kind of more immediate though, because it's just, you just twiddle a couple of knobs and bang, away you go. It's only €170 to get this. And there's, like I said, it's a Japanese place that you can buy it from. By the way, links for all of these products, as I mentioned each week, are in the blog article. You can see down below on the title. You'll be able to access videos, downloads, links, all that sort of stuff for everything that we show, including the videos we showed as well. So, guys, what do you think of Chaos?
I think price is good. And
go with Ian. Yeah, we'll go with Ian. And they'll go to Andy.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't that I'm going to be getting a Lyra 8 soon, I might have been interested in this. I mean, you may find it quite limiting to some extent, but it's cheap enough, to add to a lot of other boxes to go and do a gig, or just to make, weird noises, as I sometimes do. I think it's all right, really. But it's not the only thing out there that'll do this, though, is it? That's the thing. It's not unique in that way.
Yeah, it didn't have massive uniqueness, did it?
No, and the price is all right. I think the prices are, if you're working to a budget, as we all are to some extent, then this is, this might be a box worth considering. And I like all this weird stuff. It wasn't unique enough.
Yeah. Now, Andy, Andy's not that one. Sorry, Andy's this one. I know this is kind of like up your sort of corner with the things that you like to get.
Well, especially since if you listen to that, I mean, I'm assuming that was mostly the module, not some other weird crap that you can't see. There's some wild stuff. It went from metallics to pulse width modulation to some noisy bits to some. It was wild. I mean, it was assuming you can lock into some of those sounds and they don't just go drifting by in some random tirade. Yeah. It's incredibly useful for inspirational kind of randomness, happy accidents kind of stuff. Because I love my Lyra 8, but I've never gotten half those sounds out of my Lyra 8 or heard demos that did that. So in that respect, it actually has more sonic spread than Lyra 8 has, it seems like.
I think you have to work.
I've listened to a lot of Lyra 8
You have to work at the Lyra 8. Yeah, you have to.
You do,
really
but I've heard a lot of Lyra 8 demos, even by Vlad, and some of the shit never sounded like that. Some of those, I'm talking about individual timbres that came out along that long chain of stuff.
Yeah, I picked on that too.
Stuff in
there. Yeah, there's some.
Yeah, so that's cool in itself. If you can lock into those and stay there and do stuff.
And then pitch them.
That's pretty magical.
Yeah. That's kind of what I thought, Andy. Yeah, you're spot on. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Chatties, what do you guys think of the Chaos? I honestly thought the Chaos was probably the most interesting product this week, personally, out of all of them. I still kind of feel like you're getting VCS3 sounds out of it, though.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're right. I get that. Yeah, and having played with a couple of VCS3s, real ones, I can see that.
Yeah, I reckon he might flog a few. Give him a go. If you do get one, let us know. I always like to know what people are interested in, what they get. Probably does sound better than a VCS3, Stephen. I probably agree.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. I'm having, one of my all-time favourite synths is the VCS3, and
I've never ever had enough time with one, so that's my caveat. But every time I've had a play with one, I never can get it to sound like Oxygen or what. Like I try, but I can't. Yeah. So.
I play with a Synthie A, but the iPad version is actually very good. IVCS3 is very, very
It is,
nice.
It's
probably close to solid.
It is good, so. Yeah. But it's a good afternoon playing around with a VCS3, one of the best afternoons I think I ever spent.
Yeah, it's a day-long
4 hours with it.
Escapade, brilliant. Isn't it? Yeah, you get lost.
Yeah, loved it, absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
They let you bang on it for the spring reverb?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I got
You
it.
used to have two.
I think the guy
Sorry,
didn't
was
want
just
me to
gonna say
do
the-
that when I tried it.
Really?
Yeah, I think I
Well,
was stopped
we had-
from doing that.
The university I used to work at, they had two. Both in working order as well, and they weren't bothered about you banging the side of it. They
Well,
were
it's
quite
supposed to
cool
be.
about that. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, gosh, my dope for reverb spring reverb thing is literally underneath my modular, and I literally bang my whole modular. Base. So what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all everything's all screwed in. It's not going anywhere. I know it's not like I'm banging it with a a massive, huge sledgehammer. I'm just banging it with the side of my hand. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy stuff. Like trapezoids, and it's cool. I'd be interested to find out that the website, by the way, has got a lot of Japanese writing on it, and Wiggle, you probably have a lot of fun on there. So I didn't really get to see a lot more information other than what I read out to you and play the video. So, maybe we can revisit this down the track and see, how it goes, for sure.
It'd be nice to have a play with it. It was certainly nice to have a play with it.
Favorite product this week? Any of them stand out? Is it this one?
It is that one for me. If I was going to buy anything, it would be that.
Yeah. Chris, you're not going to get a Moog Mirror?
No.
Yeah.
I might have a look at the Pittsburgh Modular again. I'd give it a second look after a bit of time. Maybe more videos done on it by other people. Probably look at it again. It'll keep on coming up on my list. So I'll say that.
Fair enough. Andy?
I'm actually surprised the synth memes didn't make fun of the Moog Mirror being another version of a Coke mirror you can do your Coke off.
You've just given them a free hit, mate. I think they'll probably do it now.
Nah, that's fine. I'm too lazy to make it, so there you go. I mean, all these things had some interesting bits, but that wacky sounding one was pretty fun, assuming it's consistently wacky as the demo showed. And the price was cheap, right? So
Pretty good price.
So can't go wrong with that. I mean, I like the little Roat, like the mini Lyra 8. The Roat is really fun.
Yeah,
Sweet spots and crazy stuff.
Yep.
It cries out for effects, but once you put some effects on there, it's unbelievable. It's cheap as hell. It's like 150 or whatever. So
yeah.
Cool. And the chatties are saying similar stuff. The Moog looks cool. They're looking forward to hearing the Moog Mirror. They thinking that explains why I find spring reverb laying down at the bottom of VCS3s when he repairs them.
Yeah.
Good point.
All right. Speaking of interesting products that you may have to repair down the track, we have Price Watch coming up. And have I got some interesting things to show you this week? Definitely. No scams, I don't think. But let me just fix that bottom camera. Where is the eBay one?
wow.
Why don't I put who can I put in there?
You can put Darren if you want.
Yeah,
I don't mind missing.
We haven't given a lot of love to Darren today. Let's chat Darren.
Yeah, I don't mind stepping out. Oh, he's not there.
Oh, he stepped away. You didn't get him to look. He stepped away.
Yeah.
Can't even be bothered showing up. What?
Stuff him.
Because he can't hear any of this.
Well,
You say what you like about him now if he comes back.
Right. Turns up to a show and doesn't even bother. Right. Anyway, let's talk about the Hohner GIS Skyline. This I don't really know much about it. Has anyone heard of these things? It's supposed to be a pretty rare.
No.
It has a built-in drum machine.
Cool. 79.
1979. Serviced. It's been serviced. Kent?
Yeah.
No, I remember the Horner P&X.
That's
the only one that I did.
This is what it looks like anyway.
61p.
61p. That's
more
how much
than
it
that.
costs.
Yeah. It's taking the P.
You got 61p.
Kent says single manual home organ, basically.
Yeah, it's got this.
Does look that way.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
pretty
a bit
basic.
like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
Very cheesy
Like those
drum
early
machine,
Farfeet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks kind of neat though. Oh, look how chunky the backside of it is, hey? Look at the trunk of that. The chunk in the trunk.
It's got some girth.
It has.
Look at the girth.
There's about 400,000 photos on this listing. Well done. Well done, mate.
Yeah,
you really want to...
You see people go in
Yeah,
concert,
forward
go, oh, look, he's got a skyline. Look at that.
Yeah. And
Yes,
then,
exactly.
and then he's, playing that
Turns up to a
music that the
racetrack.
little monkey dances to next to it.
Yeah.
3,000 Australian dollars versus, what is it, about 1,700 pounds, I guess it is, for that. I don't think so. Maybe in your opinion it might be worth it, but I don't think so. Not for me anyway.
Nah.
I
I think
thought
if
there was a
you
video,
turned
but
up,
there isn't.
I think if you turned up to a racetrack with one of those, they'd be very disappointed. I thought you said you were bringing a skyline.
I mean, the closest thing I had to an organ is a Yamaha SK20. It's more of a string machine, but it's kind of organy.
Closest thing I've had to an organ is an organ. An actual organ. A Yamaha organ.
Yeah, I used to have a Viscount thing. That's the I used to have. When
I absolutely
used to gig
hated
with
it. I hated it. It was
I
like...
loved mine.
It was just the most crappiest sounding Yamaha organ thing I had. Was the most crappiest sounding thing ever. Every single tone that came out of it made your ears bleed. It was kind of one of those things.
Yeah,
It was just
I know
like
what you're talking about.
harsh square waves everywhere. Right, let's go to the next one, which is a Roland System 100 Model 102 expander.
Oh, cool.
There you go. $6,000 Australian. 3,200 pounds. You guys can do the rest of your conversions. There is a live listing. Can't get any more closer up than that. There is 3 photos. So this is like an expander module for the System 100, right? That's the way I understand it, and it gives you these extra things, right? So you're getting sample and hold. You're getting another envelope, another LFO, another oscillator, some filter, VCA, a bit of mixing. So it's probably something. There's the back of it, if you like the back of things. Photos are a little bit dark, to be fair. They're a little bit dark on the dark side.
Could do with a lighter background, couldn't he? Really?
Yeah. It is a bit harder to find these 102 expanders from what I've been told as well. So I don't know if the price is right. I think someone would probably not want to pay that much, but yeah, definitely handy if you've already got a System 100 and you want to expand it. All right. Okay. Next one is for Darren. Darren, are you back? Where are you, Darren?
Back, I've been here for ages.
What do
I've
you
been here for
mean?
ages.
Go back and watch. Go back and watch. We crossed to you and your chair was empty, my friend.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
not
I was just turning something off.
All right, we'll put you up in the corner where you belong. In the corner, mate.
Yeah.
This is
Naughty corner.
Oh, yeah.
This is a quasi-MIDI polymorph. Have you guys seen these?
I was watching one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching one of them.
That's why I put it in. So I need $1,200
quasi-MIDIs.
US dollars. So this is actually not a bad price at all, I don't think. I actually think I've seen someone use one of these and they sound pretty good, actually.
Sounds like something out of Red Dwarf, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, this is I have one of these. These are good.
Yeah,
They are really good. Now let's get
I
this.
finally got one cheap enough. They were going for like $2,000 for a long time, and I finally got one down to I think it's like $1,200.
Well, this is what this one's going for.
But Klaus Schultz had a whole wall of them, like 8 of them.
He loves that
For live
sort of
performance.
squelchy sounding oscillator. That real.
Well, Jörg Schaff and the crew designed it for him. It's like to his specs, I think.
Yeah. I mean, this is basically a VA, right? A VA
It's
with.
nice though. It's Instantaneous Dream in a box, basically.
But it's a VA with that kind of. It's kind of similar to the Radius, actually. That's what it reminds me of. Because you've got that
In fact, the
sequencing.
presets, the sequences loaded on there
Yeah.
are basically Jorg's TD influence sequences.
Right,
It's
okay.
got some nice sequences on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Filter's a little digital though. But yeah.
Yeah. The Raven probably sounds better.
Well, that's what Darren's got, haven't you, Darren?
Yeah.
And
definitely. Well, I'm
and
not
also
these, so I couldn't say, but
the Revolution 309 probably sounds better. And the keyboard version of that, which is the what's the other one? God, I can't remember the name. I own the damn thing. The keyboard version of the Revolution 309 is the Sirius.
Is it Sirius?
Sirius.
Yeah. So I like the Sirius more than this as well.
Stuff.
Yeah,
I kind of
I coveted this for a long time, and I like
kind of
the
feel
Sirius
this is
better.
more immediate though, right? This one's got more controls on it than yours, Darren, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the Raven's like pretty limited. It's deep. You sort of dive
Menu
into it,
diving,
very
yeah.
limited.
Yeah.
Buttons, but there's nothing to twiddle on it.
Well, I think this is a pretty.
You've got to love the knowledge.
This is a pretty damn good price. I feel like, I don't see that as hanging around. It's on eBay, by the way. God, that's expensive. That place now.
Yeah.
What was I going to do? Yeah, I mean, I've just listed a whole bunch of camera gear on there for the wife, and it was, I don't quote me exactly how much it is, but it feels like they're stinging you for about 12-13%.
No, it's more. It's closer to 18.
Is it right? Okay, it did feel pretty steep anyway.
Yeah.
I've got a spreadsheet, so I've put in how much we sold the thing for, how much the fees were, and by the time you do all that and work it out, it's you're basically
But it's
getting
still your best
paid.
bet, right? It's the most famous site. So
Well, you're getting paid what it's worth, but then eBay are taking a chunk of it. So this is what I don't like about it. You aren't getting paid over. You're getting paid what it's worth on the market, and then they're taking money out of it, which I don't really like.
do you ever use Gumtree?
Yeah.
Yeah, occasionally.
It's a bit. It can be a bit dodgy though. You get some.
It's like Craigslist. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you're taking your chances. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. So the Quasi-MIDI is pretty good. Next one is this Keytech CTS 2000 with the cartridge.
Oh.
Cross table.
Who's heard of these?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Can't.
$4,000, £2,000. I don't really remember ever seeing these at all.
Looks a bit DX7, doesn't it? Same colours.
Yeah.
Looks a bit digital to me. There you go, digital oscillators.
Yeah.
Menu diving.
Yeah.
Cross-table sampled. What does that mean? What's a cross-tabled synth? Hang on, guys in the chat, let us know what it is. What does that
Make
actually
up their
mean?
own
Yeah,
terms.
yeah.
Trying to be different.
Looks like a cross between a DX and a Casio.
Or it probably might be similar to a D50, because that's basically a little sample synth, right, with the PCMs, with the transients, and then you've got the VA engine on top. But yeah, anyway, interesting thing.
It's like when they started saying transwave instead of wavetable. It's like it's the same shit, pretty much.
Oh,
I've just looked it up.
I'm liking this.
there's
This
a-
has got analog filters. I love it when they do digital oscillators with analog filters.
SEMS.
Yes.
But Ranz,
Yeah.
the first article I found about it, the title is Keytech CTS 2000, fondly remembered of a truly horrible synth.
Oh,
Not quite selling it, is it?
not really.
Well, it's no
But this one comes with a full set of cartridges in, with 3 ROMs and 1 RAM. Remember the old ROM and RAM days? Back in the 1980s, the release of Yamaha DX7 triggered a profound crisis for manufacturers specializing in analog synthesizers, prompting them to actively explore the digital realm beyond the Yamaha's patented FM synthesis. How's it going, Manny? As a result, the latter half of the 1980s saw the emergence of a series of digital synths, including the Prophet VS with the Vector synth, the Korg wave station with wave sequencing, and the Keytech. Let's just add ourselves in there as if we're brilliant. The Keytech with the cross-wave synthesis. Despite the Keytech being highly innovative and capable of producing previously unheard of sounds, poor marketing due to Seal's dire financial situation, coupled with an esoteric design, consigned incredible instrument to oblivion. What a great little bit of AI paragraph that was.
Yes, it does seem very chat.
It does sound very chat GBT, that one. Anyway, that's the cross.
Common complaint. Oh, it's the marketing. That's
Now,
the only reason they couldn't sell it.
The last one is purely just for you, Chris, because you know you love this. You ready? Boredom. I did promise. The point, the reason why I'm showing this is because you really don't see these very often for sale.
No.
This is actually the truth.
I've never even seen one until Behringer announced it.
I would say probably once a year I see one. And I'm not. It's not like I'm actively.
They only make about 100 of these or something. There's
really
not
many.
Run, right?
There's not many.
Yeah.
You probably see one pop up about once a year, if that. Anyway, $9,000. This is actually so. When I was looking through what to show you guys on the show today, there was a bit of a theme going on with people selling stuff that normally you wouldn't see. So there was a stack of Oberheim stuff being sold, and I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder why. Behringer, perhaps. Right?
And then
You got to remember, there's a lot of people that have vintage synths, and they just can't be asked getting them serviced because it's a pain in the ass, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to hold on to it because they can get a stack of money for it, and then they can buy the Behringer or whatever. It's probably not going to sound the same. Sorry. Anyway, this is for sale, so you can get yourself a real one, Chris, and put that other piece of rubbish back in the trash can. I don't know if you can afford $9,000 for it though. They actually are probably worth that, considering how rare they are. To be fair,
I'd have to get a whole new set of patch cables. I can't handle that.
yeah, and you have to get ones that go from big to little.
No, I have a hard enough time now with just different lengths.
Anyway, you may not want to service it. Have you seen the electronics inside this thing?
I got some. I can guess what the electronics inside that thing is. Are there PCBs? Please tell me they're at least using PCBs.
That's a good question. Wagoo's asking in chat, is the Behringer the Expander 1 or the Expander 2?
Oh, yeah, good question.
I don't know. You guys can ask the hard questions. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to answer them.
The Behringer said it was the 1. They did
Okay.
it from the 1, not the 2. Yeah.
So which one's
Which is a shame
better?
they should have hybridized it.
Which one's better? The RSF 2 or the RSF 1? Which
I
one's
think
better?
the 2 was supposed to be better, but I forgot. I read it a while back. I forgot. But by the way, real quick, I did a quick YouTube search for the Keytech CTS, and the first video comes up on YouTube is Italian synths come to life. And it shows a guy holding one. It's very small, actually. So
Yeah. Did it come to life? Because I'll be very disappointed.
I didn't
Exactly.
I didn't click on it. It's the banner. The banner says Italian synths come to life.
Like arms start popping out of the side of it, and his head starts talking to you like Skynet or something. Hasta la vista. No, we have finished Price Watch. So between a Hohner, a Roland System 100, a Quasi MIDI, the super rare cross sampler, and the RSF Cobalt Expander. There's a really, really good gambit of rare and interesting synths this week. Which one would you like the most?
If it's working, I'll take the Cobalt.
Apparently the VCA is good on this one, mate.
Oh, excellent. I think it's got one less.
It's rare. It'd be worth getting if you could afford it.
I think I'd like to play the Quasi MIDI.
Apparently
Apparently
the Expander 2 had a full ADSR, because in the Cobalt Expander 1 it's just an A. The envelope generator, is that a full ADSR, or is that the shared
switchable release?
Switchable release, yeah. So this one's the Expander 2 gives you the full ADSR and sample and hold, an extra LFO, lag and noise, a ring mod as well.
It's heaps more.
Yeah, that's actually not. It's probably not that bad, that price of that. Anyway, what are they saying in chat? Which one would you get, guys? Come on, let us know. What would you get?
They're all dying to get the Keytech. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. Of course they are.
I just want to know what the hell is cross table synth. What is that? Is that just some marketing term?
Market
or is
bullshit.
Or is it actually something that they've done?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real thing, but it's probably not a new thing, right? They just, like I was saying with the Transwave wavetable, it's not fancy.
It had a 6-stage envelope generator, which is like the Insonics did, right? It's probably similar to the Insonic. I wouldn't be surprised.
It sounds like it. Sounds cross table sounds like, you know,
wavetable.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a method of reading a wavetable.
Yeah.
In a sort of like, you know, you give me 2 pointers and I'll swap between them, but between every sample. And you get a mixture of the 2 samples, but not in an obvious, predictable way.
I mean, the ESQ1 was a great mix of digital oscillators and analog filters. So.
But just look at that in chat quickly. I asked what do they want, right? They're literally every single person just about said something different. Right?
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show
broad church.
It's a broad church indeed.
Church,
yeah.
This is why elections are always messed up. Everyone's on a different page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be Andy. Andy's saying cross table could be, cross fading between 2 samples.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Could be.
I mean, it's yeah. I still think Roland got it in the 80s, the digital side. I think they got it more right with the way the PCM. They used the PCM to get the attack transients, and then they used the VA engine to fill the sound. I mean, it's pretty genius. And they still technically they still use it today, right? I look so like orange today, don't I? It's like weird. The light's not on. Something weird.
So you look a bit dark.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably turn the light on, but it's so hot here, isn't it, Chris, at the moment? It's probably...
Heat wave
I don't know.
number 3, is it this month?
43 degrees Celsius tomorrow.
But it's dry, right? You guys don't get a lot of humidity?
Yeah.
I
mean, it's not like... It's not like Malaysia, you know. But
kind of...
It's not the heat, it's the stupidity, so...
yeah. Oh, there's a fan sitting next to me. You probably can hear it. I cannot run the show without this fan.
He needs his fans.
Gives you moral support, does it?
He's got at least
my
one
only
fan.
fan. Yep, it's my only fan.
It's the only fan.
Yeah,
It's a one-fan show.
that's it. That's it. I've been tangoed, according to Steve. Have I?
Yeah.
Tango and cached. Yeah.
Tango. Yeah, I think he's talking about because we have a drink called Tango, and the adverts used to be a big orange guy running around.
So Daniel, is Daniel still in chat? Daniel sent me some pictures of a Fairlight EVO, and okay, so Fairlight EVO. This is the video editing thing that we were talking about the week before. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and drag these pictures in.
Non-linear editor.
Yeah, so Black Magic took over this company. So let's grab some of these.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I can share them with you because I think she wanted to share it because we talked about it last week. And she says, hang on, sorry, I'm just copying them out of Discord. It takes a little bit of time. She says that some pictures of my Fairlight EVO. It's pretty historic, and the last that was shipped to a customer before Blackmagic take Fairlight. It's with 10 modules. All right, here we go. Let's grab them. Sorry. Now that I've saved it out of Discord, I have to now import it into vMix. 1, 2. I don't want to crash vMix. 3, 4. Here we go.
The tension.
The suspense is killing us. Picture number 1.
Hey.
Hey. Ooh. Ooh.
Picture number 2.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's proper. Nice studio too.
Number 3.
Mm.
Looks very swish.
Looks, yeah. It looks
Four.
like every outside broadcast vehicle that I've ever seen. They do all look the same from a distance.
Yeah.
There's a certain style video mixers use.
There you go. Danielle, if you're still in chat or if you disappeared, is she there? I don't know, she's there. Danielle. No, she's not there. See, you missed out. Oh, she'll watch it on the replay. Anyway, Fairlight was still cooking around. That was kind of the comment that we made last week, and then Blackmagic took them over. So yeah. That's... Oh no, there she is.
She's there. She's there. There she is.
She's there, yeah.
Yeah, suspicion interest.
Apparently, it's a very small community that are into this sort of stuff. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I have to admit, I don't mind. I don't have time, but I don't mind the whole video production stuff. It's actually pretty cool. It has a lot of similarities to music making. The only thing I don't like about it is it's insanely expensive to get yourself involved in it, because if you want hardware controllers, you're looking at multiple thousands of dollars for anything. So those A10 minis that I use here are literally probably the cheapest video production device, you know, that does something decent in the world. Like, they're really, really kind of cheap because they've got the A10 platform in them, which is, you know, it's probably technically it's developed from Fairlight, right? Eventually, and you know, they've dumbed it right down so that it's, you know, a few preset buttons that you can press, and it switches between HDMI inputs and stuff. But if you want to go a bit higher than that, you're looking. You should go and have a look at the prices. It just really jumps up to the next level. Like, it jumps out of the stratosphere, basically.
I mean, it's basically for production.
Well, it's appropriate too, because Blackmagic cameras aren't cheap. So
Yeah,
So
and the
anything in video production.
they actually are really good. Their cameras are actually really good.
Oh yeah.
Because one of the things you can do with the Blackmagic, you can't really do it with these types of cameras that we've got here, is that you can actually control all of the features of the camera from your controller. So if you want to like change any of your color temperatures, you can give it different
white
profiles,
balancing and all kinds of stuff.
everything
Color
completely
transforms.
controllable.
Yeah. Transform tables and stuff.
Yeah.
All done by the pretty.
At one stage I had a Roland switcher here. I think, if I remember rightly, I think Roland just lent it to me, and it was like a HDMI switcher, and I had it here for a bit, and it was nowhere near as good as the ATEMs. And I think Roland are still
Gaz
popping
uses
out.
the Roland one on his streams.
Does he? Yeah, they're still popping out a few of these products. I'm not a massive fan of them. They're completely usable, but the only reason why I'm not a massive fan of them is because they lack a lot of sensibility in some of their development. Like, for example, you can only plug in cameras at a certain frame rate and resolution before you can switch them across to the different inputs. So if you've got different cameras of different resolutions and different frame rates, you literally just get a black screen on that input. Whereas an ATEM, it actually has downscalers or upscalers in it, built into it. And
Well, they also did weird stuff too, like this
pretty
V-Link,
important.
like the V-Synth actually has V-Link to control video stuff from your V-Synth. That's really weird.
Yeah.
So they thought of this whole like ecosystem they built around it. It's very strange.
And once again, if you want to go, to more sort of sophisticated stuff, you're looking at big money, and they do have some pretty good stuff rolling at the higher end.
Yeah.
I mean, Roland do printers.
There's
and
some
they do
Edirol video stuff too. There's some Edirol video switchers and
toilets and
Yeah, I've got some Edirol monitors here,
yeah.
which are okay. I mean, I wouldn't use them as a main pair. I mean, they are being used as a main pair of monitors at the moment, but I wouldn't normally use them as, I wouldn't mix on them really.
This whole video DJ thing is still trying to get out as some sort of cool thing. I can understand why. It's kind of a visual performance to do with what you're doing, and artists have been doing it for years. And that Yamaha Sectrack had that little
Oh yeah,
video DJ visualizer thing on it. Yeah, and the obviously the Teenage Engineering stuff's got that sort of stuff in it.
Well, what about all the modular video stuff?
Yeah. Yeah,
Modular video.
it's massive.
That's more on the analog side.
that's so expensive. Holy moly!
Yeah,
All the LZX stuff and all that.
yeah. Don't go down that rabbit. We've already gone down the modular rabbit hole.
No.
Yeah.
My God.
There's something modular fear more than anything, and it's the video modulars.
Yeah,
This guy in San Francisco is a famous guy doing all the EMOMs and stuff. His name Dirty Bill. He has this massive mobile rack of just LZX video stuff.
Wow.
And he did some visuals at some of the shows I was at, and it's really impressive. But I asked him, I said, do you have any idea how much that costs? He goes, you don't want to know. So, so,
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
yeah.
So Daniela's throwing some dollars in the chat room, 5,000 euros. Actually, that's not too bad. I mean,
For that whole thing.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, obviously it wasn't that when it was brand new.
Exactly.
I remember they were talking about what the hell? Why is my stream gone back to there? It's weird. They were talking about how much a Fairlight, this is the synth Fairlight, the sampler, was comparative to like what you could also buy with that sort of money in the day. And it was kind of like a really expensive car or a small house. That's how much they were.
Let's say that about
$30,000 US dollars, I think,
small
was the
mansion or
was the,
Scandinavia.
the price that was floating around. That I tell me if I'm wrong, Robbie, because I'm pretty sure one of the videos that
house, yeah.
I watched had Peter in it, and he talked about people were like mortgaging their houses to get these things into studios type thing, which is crazy, right? Like, I mean, at the time, what's his name? The guy that did Art of Noise, and he produced Video Killed the Radio Star, that guy.
Trevor Horn.
Trevor Horn, right? If he didn't have a Fairlight, imagine how different the world would have been.
I think the 80s would have even happened.
So 25k. See, I wasn't far off. 30k, 25k.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember people buying houses in Australia for, 20, 30k in the 80s. So there you go. And I'm sure in the US it would have been the same. Not like these days where houses are in the millions. Like, what? Like, talk about inflation. Trev hated the Fairlight. He liked the Synclavia, did he? Well, why was the Fairlight in just about every single one of those tracks that he produced then, if he hated it? It's weird. It's like, I don't get
got
that.
somebody else to program it.
He might have hated
Well,
it.
if you look at the
but he used
Synclavier,
it.
I think the Fairlight was much easier to use. So
Was the only thing that was still
except-
operating when they had to do a film.
Except when Anthony Marinelli, is it Marinelli, that guy that
Yeah.
talks about the Synclavier, right? He talked about, I still don't believe this, but he talked about how Michael Jackson did that sound at the start of Beat It, right? I don't reckon he went into partials and edited a whole bunch of shit like that. I just don't see Michael Jackson that sort of musician. I see him probably loading up some presets and going, tweak, tweak, tweak. That sounds cool. And then literally saving that. That would probably be more like it. Or someone setting it up for him.
But the Synclavier did have that resynthesis ability. It could actually analyze an audio sample and try to reproduce it using FM partials. So that may have been what he was referring to.
Could have been.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, no place to go for parts. You might have to do what's his name? Chris did. Chris, not Chris here, Chris, but Chris as in the Chris that lives in Los Angeles, that built a Fairlight from not a Fairlight, from other things.
Yeah. Wow.
So watch his videos. Chris Blythe, is it Blythe? He's a Scottish bloke that lives
Blythe,
in lives in LA.
Yeah, Chris
And if you, I can't remember the name of his channel, but you can find it through that Centaur. You know those guys that repair synths in, where are they? They're in
These
like
guys.
Texas or something, aren't they? Yeah, those guys. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Have you met them? Have you, Andy?
I bought this at Synthplex. I like their stuff. I watch their videos. So I'd say, I'll buy a sweatshirt. I like their stuff. So.
Yeah. You know, I think Chris he's in like the multimedia industry. He does videos for a living. So when you watch his videos, you can see that he's definitely got, you know, experience.
Chops.
Yeah. But have you guys worked out that I think he's been working on it in his garage? It looks like his garage, doesn't it?
I think
definitely
it's obligatory. You have to work on 8-bit computers in your garage.
Where else can you go to work on?
You've watched Halt and Catch Fire,
MFX, that's what it was. Chris used MFX according to Robbie. Yeah, that's what it was. MFX units. Yeah, they weren't distantly related, but they technically it wasn't a Fairlight, right? He didn't have a Fairlight, and he used. I mean, seriously, if you were to go and watch every single one of his videos, you would understand what I'm saying here. He didn't really have the Fairlight. He had to go and ask people in the know, including you, Robbie. I'm pretty sure he's asked where to get parts, where to get certain things, how to fix certain things. What does this module do if you plug it into this? Why doesn't it work? You know, that it literally was. You know, if you haven't watched those videos, it's worth watching. Yeah. It was an extension of the Series 3. Yeah, absolutely. I am sore today. I've been outside doing physical work. I think that's probably about it. All she wrote. No one's coming in on Zoom, so you know. I don't have anything else to add. No, there's no Name That Synth. Haven't had one of those for a while. Yeah. Unless you guys want to quickly add anything.
I will.
nothing
I
from
will
me.
say. I'm going to plug something here.
All right, you go, Darren.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
At least you're in a chair this time.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll just go. For those who saw me live or listened to me live at the Blackpool Emon, I think it'll be last year now. I did a live take on Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. So tomorrow I'm putting the actual studio version, which I had sitting around, I'd say probably a year before I I played it live. So I'm putting that up tomorrow at some point in the day. So that will be the studio version of Run Up That Hill that I played live last year.
Yeah, the Kate Bush.
And for people who don't, yeah, the Kate Bush.
How does the clearance work for that, by the way? It's a pretty long sample, right? How do you get clearance for that?
He hasn't.
Great.
He's going to pop it up there and
He's
deal
gonna
with it,
suck-
and just deal with it.
We call that
Yeah,
suck
that's-
to see.
yeah.
He's going
They'll
to
take the
And hope
revenue.
for the best, yeah.
You can always go and knock on the front door, mate.
better to ask for
Yeah.
forgiveness.
Well,
than
let's
permission.
put it this way: it'll either be there or it won't. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but if you
It'll
watch
probably
it
be
live,
there, but
it was
they'll-
played. Yeah,
Yeah, they'll just take the revenue off it. They'll just take the ad
Yeah.
revenue.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's basically only the vocal part anyway, so we'll see. But I just thought I'd put that up since I played it live. And from anyone who doesn't know, Jamie's cancelled the Blackpool EMON for March because he's not well. Yeah, so he's not going to be able to do that. So unfortunately,
Well, get well,
there'll be no
Jamie.
Blackpool EMON.
Yeah. Shout
Yeah,
out to Jamie.
I actually I didn't know that. Get well, Jamie.
Yeah, so
Mate.
I won't be headlining at Blackpool because unfortunately, due to circumstances, it's not going to be on. So just for anyone who didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
So that's
look out for your video tomorrow.
yes, tomorrow.
Awesome.
Hopefully, touch wood.
Okay. Fantastic. Look, I might as well plug.
And other than that, I've just been running around working on my live set, basically for this week, this week.
Which you're not going to use.
We'll be playing live. It just depends on where I play.
Just
live
the next
now.
time. Yeah.
But it's just I think it's an hour and 20 minutes set that I've got. I won't be playing an hour and 20 minutes unless anyone wants me to play an hour and 20 minutes. But if I put the two sets together, you're going to get about 2.5 hours, which I'm working on. I can actually blend the two sets together.
It's
So,
actually
other than that, yes.
not as long as you think. Time flies. You could easily do an hour and 20
Oh yeah,
minutes.
time flies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I say, I mean, it's set at about an hour, but I can extend that to well over an hour because it's played live, isn't it? So I decide how the music goes.
Guys in chat, it's Geosynths that we're talking about. Jamie Morden.
from Geos.
Yeah.
I want to give another plug, Darren, if that's okay. Not to you, but to Ian.
Yep.
Hey,
So Ian does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and it's not just for himself. He does it for other artists, me included. Also, other people that you know of, like Andy, as in Andy Brooks and Grace, and so do check out his Bandcamp. I'm going to paste this link into the chat in just a sec when I get across to the other computer. One of the things he's done recently is he's done a compilation, and there's lots of artists on there, so go in and check that out. I mean, my album's on there,
and it's free.
Yeah.
That the Seven Deadly Sinners Volume 1 is free, so just you don't have to even give us a email address. You can just take it.
Just go in and grab it. There you go.
Yeah.
Or you can just name your price, if you want to. So definitely check that out. I'm going to paste the link in now to chat. I do want to say thank you to.
And if you
keep going.
I was just going to say that, just the fact that Ranz has given 2 extra tracks on his album this week. So
Thanks,
if you
buddy.
buy it now, you get. So those of you that's already downloaded it, you just need to download either the new tracks or download the whole thing again if you want. And actually, Man with Beard says he likes Tony Imperatrice, and Tony's a very, very cool guy. He's over in the States. Classical organist who's doing sort of electronic ambient stuff. Really interesting music.
That was the stuff I was.
But yes, so
talking about earlier.
so go and get Ranzee's new tracks.
Well,
I
yeah.
have. I'll just do it today.
And others, Andy and Grace
Yeah.
and Tony
others,
and
yeah.
all the other
Yeah.
people that are there, and even Ian's stuff is pretty cool. So
Thank you.
definitely.
Yeah.
Now another thing I don't do, you guys, you need to like kick me in the butt for not doing this enough. Is I don't say thank you to all the channel members and subscribers and Patreons and things like that. So I do want to quickly say a thank you. Now, one thing, very small list, right? But those people that are in that list, I do, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you. A lot of you guys have been there for a long time. Like Henrik, for example, has been there for ages, and he's not on the chat right now, but you know, and some of the others are there as well. You know who you're talking about. But if you do head on over to my Patreon, which has been like a ghost town for a long time, yeah, it's been pretty sad. I haven't done much over there, but do head on over there now, because I've actually put some stuff in there, and I do want you guys to, you can choose your different membership. All you need is LFO. LFO is all you need to get yourself started. But I am now putting up my videos that I've got on YouTube onto Patreon, and I'm going to continue to do this until Patreon tell me I've got no more space left. And so every single video that I've done recently will end up on there. It does take a little while for me to get across there and upload them, because I don't know why, it's bloody slow. But if you are also a certain level, one of these levels, that you do get access to all of my original master wave files, and you can download my music through Patreon as well. And that might be a way to get it. I mean, the better way to get it is through Bandcamp, but that's just another way of getting it. If any of that does happen, I will let you know, and you can have a little profit share of that. At the moment, no, it's zero, so don't worry. I've got a membership plan on here called Rich Dude.
Forgot about that.
No one's done it yet.
No one's clicked it yet.
Because you're rich.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be funny.
Must
See if
be.
anyone would
Clicked
bite at
on
the
it,
cherry. All those little things, they do go contributing to the channel and keeping, you know, certain things like the Zoom calls and stuff like that happening. So it's appreciated. And all of you guys who do support me that way, much appreciated, because I know it's not everybody that can do it. But if you can't contribute financially, do the basic stuff. Like the video, subscribe, share it with your mates, do that sort of stuff.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, that's the easiest stuff you can do. And also, don't forget to do the same for these guys that are here on this channel. There's links in the description of this video to every single one of their YouTube channels. So go check out their YouTube channels and subscribe to them. Some of these guys, they actually post quite frequently, and you know, Andy Synth Addict is got a couple of YouTube channels, so go check his out. Darren's quite regular, so Ian's quite semi-regular. Gets the stuff up there
every once a week. Yeah, once a week on average.
Yeah.
Although that might get more challenging in the weeks to come, but we'll still try to put a week every Monday. I try and put a new video.
You do it from your phone. Just live stream from your phone.
Yeah.
I think Andy, I might end up doing that.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the likes now, and it went from 20 to 29. So well done, guys. But it does help the algorithm, believe me or not. It actually does work. So there you go. 70 people
I just added
watching.
one more. I forgot to like it. So
There you go. I can actually see it happening live. Fantastic. That's about it. Don't forget to press record. Be nice to your mum. Go check out Chris's shop. Buy some
Buy
GP82s.
stuff.
Yeah. Or if
I
you
got to save up for a key tech.
actually, if you really want to do something
Yeah.
if you really want to do something really cool, go to Reverb and
Yes.
actually go to Ranzee.com.
Buy. Yeah.
Easiest way to do it is to go to my website, Ranzee.com, and then click on this shop on Reverb and just have a look how much crap I have put in Reverb for you guys to go and buy. And if you do buy it, send me a message and I'll chuck something special in for you.
Interesting.
All right?
Oh, not the Timberwolf.
The Timberwolf.
Yep.
Timberwolf.
Timberwolf's up there.
No,
Go
man.
grab it.
There goes Kent's plans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had that Waldorf little rocket thing? Did you ever use that much?
Not enough. That's why it's up there.
Yeah,
a lot of
Never
this stuff
played
is. So when I've set the prices for this, Australian dollars are really, really bad at translating to other currencies. So if you're living in the UK, you're living in the US, you're going to get a bonus just from me selling it in Australian dollars. But on top of that, I've made sure that the prices are way less than what you would get it if you were to buy it new, of course, but also competitive in Reverb and what the other people are selling the same product for on Reverb. So the one that I reckon is probably the most interesting in this listing, you'll probably think, what? The Timberwolf is, isn't it? No, Timberwolf sucks. The one that's the most interesting is the Roland System 1 that's in there. It's the original IRA plug-out synth that they brought out, but this particular one that I'm selling, it has the overlay, a red overlay from Roland that they actually gave me, which has got the SH101 decals all over it, and in the plug-out I've left on that synth is actually an SH101 as well. So when you get it, you're getting a deck saver, the overlay, and the plug-out, and the actual System 1 as well.
Wow.
Yes, you will be getting an Australian power supply with it, but you can just go to a shop and buy your own converter, whatever. So, yeah.
It's not the kind you can change the plug part.
Nah. Roland's are fixed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some of these are, like the Werkstat, for example. If you buy the Werkstat kit, it's got a US power supply in it. So, because I bought that from Perfect Circuit originally, and I've actually pulled apart the Werkstat and put everything back in kit form, so that when you get it, it'll be like you've built in the kit like originally. So, I don't know. There's a couple of interesting things in there, like the EXB Radius board. Someone's got someone's got a bit of gas for one of those. But anyway, if you do buy something from my Reverb shop, let us know, and I'll try and throw something else in there to because I know you guys. So that's it. Any more announcements and we'll go. Got an early night tonight. Ian needs to go anyway, so perfect timing. Hey, Ian.
Yeah, got to go and box stuff.
He's got to move house.
Thanks, chatties. Thanks,
thanks,
callers, Darren, Andy,
Buddy.
Ian, Chris.
Good to see you,
Thanks,
buddy.
guys.
See you, folks.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
See you next week.
Stay safe,
Bye.
warm, and cool in our case.
Bye.
Ooh.